Hari Om. We'll chant from verse number 12, section 5. एको वशी सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा एकं रूपं बहुधा यः करोति तमात्मस्थं येन पश्यन्ति धीराः तेषां सुखं शाश्वतं नेतरेषाम् नित्यो नित्यानां चेतनश्चेतनानाम् एको बहूनां यो विदधाति कामान् तमात्मस्थं येन पश्यन्ति धीराः तेषां शान्ति शाश्वती नेतरेषाम् तदेतद् इति मन्यन्ते अनिर्देश्यं परमं सुखम् कथं नु तद्विजानीयाम् किमु भाति विभाति वा न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकम् नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वम् तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। Begin the sixth, the last Valli. So there are the 6 Vallis and 2 chapters are there. So the last section now begins. It's a concluding section. So some of the topics are summarized, and then the whole story also gets concluded in this section, because we also have the question, what happened to Nachiketa? Did he gain that knowledge? Did he understand what Yamraja told him? That also will be answered in this section. So let us begin. Urdhva Mulo Vakshakha एषोऽश्वत्थः सनातनः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिताः सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वै तत् ऊर्ध्वमूलो वाक्शाखः एषोऽश्वत्थः सनातनः। This beautiful picture of this world is given here. Similar picture is there in Bhagavad Gita also. The world is indicated here as a tree, as one tree. The entire world is like a tree. But that tree is not standing straight. It's urdhva mulaha, with its roots above and the branches below. And what tree? People tree. Ashwatha. Ashwatha Sanatanaha, an eternal people tree with its roots on top and the branches below. This is just image of this world. Just as sometimes we have our family tree also. Family tree doesn't mean mango tree. Family tree, our forefathers, then their children, then their children and all those. We have this inverted tree only. Some people actually with lot of effort they make that tree with all this. And nowadays with all our internet and all our family members you will find floating around in the cyber world. So you can put them on the tree. So as you go up, it becomes narrow. As you go down, it spreads. So similarly, this whole entire cosmos is like an inverted tree. Just as in a tree, every part of the tree is connected to every other part. Every leaf, every flower, every branch, everything is interconnected. It is that one life principle flows to the entire tree. One, what you call that energy, as though flows to each and every part of the tree in a beautiful way. Tree is very amazing phenomena. Everything has come from that one beej only. The entire tree has emerged from one seed. So that seed you put in the soil and then slowly the tree grows. If you look at a tree, you will see only the trunk and the branches. The higher, the taller the tree, the deeper are the roots, and they are also spread out everywhere. The strength of the tree depends on the strength of the root. So much of wind and storm and all, some of the trees, they remain firmly rooted, don't get uprooted. So the strength depends on the root. If you dig the earth and see, you will find a root going very deep and holding on to that soil. So here the whole world is picturized as a tree. All of us are part and parcel of this tree. All of us means our body, our mind, our senses, the karmas which we perform, the gunas, the three gunas. In Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, Bhagavan talks about this tree in much more detail. Urdhvam ulamadasyakam ashwatham prahuravyayam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam veda savedavita adaschordhvam prasrutastasya shakhaha guna pravruddha vishaya pravalaha. Like that he talks about the branches. Some of them goes upwards, downwards, sideways, depending on the gunas, sattva gun, rajo gun, tamo gun. Then there our desires, our karmas, they also give rise to a new branch. So in this way, the entire tree is not only physical, but also made up of our mind, cosmic samskar, made up of the various lokas. God knows there are so many lokas are there. Loka means the world of experience. Now in which we are living is one loka. If we send a probe out in the space, wherever it goes, it is one loka only. But when we leave this world, when we die, we can go to some other lokas also. Suddenly we might meet our relative in some other loka. There are higher lokas, lower lokas. Hundreds of them are there. Because they are different levels of consciousness, different levels of experiences. variety, hundreds of them might be there. Therefore we say in the Puranas and Ananta Koti Brahmanda. There are Ananta Koti Brahmanda. There are multiple. Nowadays, science also talks about multiple universes. Multiverses they call. There are multiple universes. It's quite amazing. Science is also coming closer and closer to understand the secret of this world. Multiple universes are there. Some universes may be exactly like this, our universe. Somebody is going into some other universe. So, sitting here only, when you go to sleep, you go into another universe. So now please remain in this universe till the pravachan is over. So all these lokas, everything is connected. All of us, everything is just a play of one. So the route which is up is generally that direction is shown of something higher, something superior. So that higher, superior indicate that Supreme Brahma only. That Brahma is the source from where this entire tree has emerged. And the tree exists in that Brahma. The tree exists in that Brahma. So that is been indicated here. So this is for our meditation, for our upasana, that imagine the entire cosmos as one tree. Everyone is connected to everyone else. There is a beautiful saying in English that you cannot pluck a flower without disturbing the distant star. Though the star is so far away, and I pluck a flower here, that star will also get disturbed. It will get affected. What happens on earth, it affects the other what you call planets also. What happens in Simla, if there is birth there, it affects Delhi also. So everything is connected to everything else. So urdhva moolam adashyakam shakaha eshaha ashvattha sanatanaha. The word ashvattha is also very beautiful. It means people tree, but that word ashvattha, shva means tomorrow. Ashva means not tomorrow. Stha means remain. That which will not remain tomorrow. Tomorrow means the very next moment. That which doesn't remain same the next moment is called the world. Means it is constantly changing. Every moment, every second, the world is changing. Our body is changing, our mind is changing. It's like a constant flux. We feel that I am permanent, means this body is permanent, but it is constant flux, constant changing. It's like a water which is kept to boil. Each and every drop of that water, it moves within that vessel. It keeps on circulating. In the same way, each and every drop on this in this body and our mind keeps on circulating, keeps on moving. So the whole world is ashvattha, temporary, changing, but at the same time it is sanatana, means it is eternal also, means it is eternally existing but constantly changing. Pravaha nityatvam it is called. Means there is movement and there is eternity also. But the source of this world is that Brahma. So in Gita, Bhagavan says, Tameva chadyam purusham prapadde. That you seek, you surrender to that Adi Purusha from whom this whole world has come into being. I see the world through my senses, so we should go backward and see what is the source. What is the source of my senses? What is the source of my mind? Go back and we will come to realize the source as our own self. So that source is indicated as Brahma. Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma. That Brahma is Shukra, pure. It is infinite. And Tadeva Amrutam Uchyate, and that alone is indicated as immortal. That Brahma is immortal, which is the source of this world, which is the very root of this world, from where everything has emerged. Everything appears in that Brahma and again will disappear into that Brahma. In Atma Bodh, Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji gives example of water only. He says, Budbudaniva Varini. The worlds emerge and remain for some time and again merge like the bubbles in water. The bubbles arise in water, they exist in water, and again go back into water. The water exists all the time. In the same way, Brahma is like water, and all these worlds are like bubbles arising in Brahma and merging back into that Brahma. Is vast, is infinite. Tadeva Amrutam Uchyate, infinite. Infinity is a concept which is very difficult to grasp. Even big we fail to grasp. Infinite is bigger than the biggest. Infinite. Tasmin loka shrita sarve. In that only all the lokas, all the worlds exist. Tasmin lokaha shrita sarve. As I said, loka means lokyate iti lokaha. That which is experienced is called loka. The English word look also must have come from that loka only. Loka means to look only, that which is seen, that which is experienced. So even our dream is a world only, a different world. And when we die, we go into different worlds. Or sometimes some yogis are there, even when they are in this body, they travel to other worlds also. It's possible. Some yogis, they mention about traveling to other worlds. So tasmin loka shrita sarve tadunateti kaschana. But nobody can transcend this Brahma. One can transcend one world and go into another. But nobody can transcend this Brahma. So that Brahma you are. Etad vaitata. This is that. This Brahma you are. You are someone who is most fascinating. All of you, including me. It's most fascinating. That Brahma is so fascinating that nothing can be compared. It is incomparable. And like a scientist, we should pursue to realize this Brahma proactively, consciously. That is our main duty in this world. So tadunatteti kaschana etad vai tata. So this Brahma is now indicated in various ways, the following mantras also. Yadidam kincha jagat sarvam prana ejati nishritam mahadbhayam vajramudyatam ya etad viduramrutaste bhavanti yadidam kincha jagat sarvam. Yes. Everyone is in different world. So this is the proof. So yadidam kincha jagat sarvam. All this kincha jagat, all this jagat. Jagat means that which is seen is called jagat. Loka, jagat, same. Yad drishyam tad jagat. That is the definition of world in Vedanta. That which is seen or that which is experienced is called jagat. There are two entities only, the experiencer and that which is experienced. The drashta and the drishya. So drishya is called jagat and drashta is different from that drishya. Drashta is not part of that drishya. So drashta and drishya. So all that is drishya is called jagat. Yad idam kincha. So it includes 24. We see this chart last time also we had seen. So this prakriti is the jagat in unmanifest form. It manifests as Mahat Tattva, the cosmic intelligence, which is indicated in this mantra as prana. It is also called prana. At the cosmic level, this Mahat Tattva is also called prana or Hiranyagarbha. Different terms are there. Then there is cosmic ahankar. Then the mana and jnanendriyas, karmendriyas. Then the tanmatras, the 5 subtle elements. And mahabhut, the 5 gross elements. Total they are 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus this 20. So 24 tattvas are the altogether make the world. So world is made up of these 24 elements or 24 tattvas. All of them are seen, all of them are experienced. We see the Mahabhut, Pancha Mahabhut, we know the Karmendriyas, we know the Jnanendriyas, we know the Tanmatras, we know the Mana, we know Ahankar, and at the subtler level, we can know the Mahat Tattva also. So all of them are known. Prakriti is unmanifest, it cannot be known. But once we reach the level of Mahat Tattva, we can transcend and come to realize that Purusha. So this Mahat Tattva is indicated here as prana, which is the expression of that Brahma alone. So Brahma alone expresses first as prana or Hiranyagarbha. So here it is said that the entire world exists in that Hiranyagarbha, in that prana. Yadidam kincha jagat sarvam prane ejati. In that prana only it vibrates, it moves. Nishrutam, having projected from that prana, having emerged from that prana, this physical world moves in that prana only. In the cosmic intelligence, everything happens. Just as at the individual level, all that we experience happen in our mind. All that you are sitting here, you are experiencing whatever, every experience is happening in your mind. All our experiences are nothing but vibrations of our mind. It is individual level. At the cosmic level, all the worldly phenomena is nothing but vibration of that Mahat Tattva only. Prana it is called. So everything is vibrating. Ejati prane, in that prana. So yadidam kincha jagat sarvam prana ejati nishrutam. Mahad bhayam vajram udyatam ya etad viduhu amrutaste bhavanti. And another very interesting phenomena we see in this world, that every little thing follows some niyam, follows rules. Every object, everything in this world, even the living beings, everything follows certain rules, laws. Cosmic laws are followed by everyone, everything. And that is what the science is constantly trying to find. What are the rules? What are the laws behind a particular thing? So everything follows laws. One very interesting about these laws, from the worldly standpoint, if you see somebody following certain laws very religiously, it is because of some fear of punishment. Yeah? Fear is the key to follow. So in Gita also Bhagavan says that dando damayatam asmi, among the to discipline something, I am the danda, punishment. If the punishment system is proper, danda is proper, then everyone follows laws. I must have told this before, the story. One person goes to meet the manager or the boss of a company, and that boss had told कि शर्मा जी जब आएंगे उनको बोलो मैं नहीं हूँ, because it's very irritating. So I will sit in my cabin and you just tell him that boss is not there. So he came and everyone said boss nahi hai, but he kept sitting. He said nahi, I will meet him. So finally the boss came out. He said, why didn't you go? They told you boss is not there. He said, they told, but I knew you were there. He said, how? Because I saw everyone working very properly, systematically, in a disciplined way. And I knew boss must be there. He is not seen, but he is there. Similarly, in this world, we find everything in nature follows laws. And that is what, as I said, science is trying to find. Various laws, E is equal to mc square, or quantum mechanics, and all those string theories, and all sorts of things. They are trying to find out what is the law which governs everything in this world. They want to find the ultimate law, ultimate formula, because of which the Big Bang took place and all that we see is happening. What is that? Because they know one thing is sure, that everything follows laws. So who is the one who is the lawgiver? Out of whose fear to everyone follows this law? That is that Brahma. So Brahma is indicated as a lawgiver, as though somebody holding a vajra in his hand. Vajram udyatam. Vajra means that thunderbolt in his hand he is holding, and he is a great terror, mahad bhayam. This is just a poetic way of expressing that because of the presence of that Brahma only, everything follows strict laws. Because one can understand the law, but even science cannot tell why a thing behaves as it is behaving. They can tell how it is behaving, but why it is behaving like that, science also fails to tell. Sugar is sweet, we can tell, but why sugar is sweet? No, because of the atoms, electron, proton. But why, if they are like this, why it should be sweet? They cannot tell. So these laws are very fundamental. And the laws which a living being follows, they are called dharma. And in our scriptures, they have given certain laws. If we follow sincerely, it will be beneficial for us. So if we swadharma, if we follow them sincerely, it will benefit us. So mahad bhayam vajram udyatam ya etad. So this Brahma is like a terror, holding a thunderbolt in his hand and making everything function. This is one of the logic of or proof that there is some higher power which is governing this world. It is not just happened by chance. Everything has not happened by chance. There is some higher power governing this world. For example, if you have a very sophisticated, let us say, watch, there are so many parts are there. So you cannot say that all these parts just came together by chance and the watch was made. Some watchmaker must be there who must have assembled all these parts together. Similarly, the Vyavastha, the order which we see in this world, is so precise, so perfect. The laws of physics, the laws of chemistry, the laws of biology, the laws of mathematics, economics, everything is so perfect that we have to accept intelligence behind it. Matter by itself cannot just become intelligent, cannot evolve to become intelligent. So intelligence is there behind this entire creation. That intelligence, supreme intelligence, is that prana, which is the manifestation of Brahma only. So prana is the cosmic intelligence in which the entire show of this world is happening. The world is in my mind, but I, means this body including everything, is in the mind of God. That mind of God is called it prana, Hiranyagarbha. Everything is happening